Alright, today we are playing a sweet little deck that I used to be a big fan of. I haven't played it in a while. I've been looking forward to playing this ever since it did very well in the Magic Online challenges this past week. 2 copies in one of the top 8, which is incredible. This deck is built around Tolarian Terror, Eddymurk Crab, and Up the Beanstalk. Really, really cool. Means you get your creatures really cheap. You cast them, you trigger your Beanstalk, suddenly your Tolarian Terrors and your Crabs are drawing cards, and you just tear through your deck. We also have Town Ain't Big Enough. Of course, this is the first deck that was playing the Stormchaser's talent, Town Ain't Big Enough, Up the Beanstalk kind of shell that we've seen now in the Otters deck, where your Town Ain't Big Enough triggers your Beanstalks. You can rebuy the town with Stormchasers. Stormchasers is a cheap thing you can bounce and rebuy for value with your town as well. It's really great. And then outside of that, we just have a lot of cheap card draw and mill effects and interaction. Unsummon and Bushwhack to fight opposing creatures. Analyze to go tutor for lands most of the time, but sometimes our terrors or our crabs. And Seed of Hope and Cash Grab, just good stealth mill to enable these awesome creatures. I think the big innovation we see in this deck at the moment from the challenge list is black sideboard cards. Turns out you can run 4 Gloomlake Verge, which are mono blue sources, game 1. And then in your sideboard games, you get to bring in a single swamp, which are 6 tutors can go fine, which is 7 sources. Gloomlake helps. Our self-mill helps dig as well. And suddenly we have a lot of black sources out of nowhere. Or nowhere to run. Go for the throat and Anoint with Affliction to help in the matchups against Dimir and Mono Red. Very, very exciting. Would have given this a spin. I don't want to keep this. Doesn't fill its yard great, but we have double talent. We have town to rebuy the talents. We're going to have some good early downs. We drew Up the Beanstalk, which is kind of delightful with this town ain't big enough. Aww, that's cute, Sophia. I could get down the Beanstalk so that if I have to town next turn, I draw a card. That's probably the play, right? Close down my other Otter token, but I think just ensuring we get a card off our town ain't big enough if we have to bounce a creature next turn. Seems very promising. Final Vengeance means probably a red-black sacrifice deck. Probably playing the Braids. Maybe playing Demonic Pact-y stuff. Or could be lower to the ground, although we haven't seen any early pressure yet. Alright, Hopeless Nightmare is very much on our team. Getting a spell in the yard for us. Right, I'm going to sack that, draw 2 cards. Good. They're giving us a lot of time right now. Can't complain about that. I suspect this turn I kind of want to hold Open Town ain't big enough. If I do that, I will have 2 in yard. This will cost 5. If I was to cast Analyze this turn instead of Talent, I could maybe cast a Terror next turn. Yeah, might be on Demonic Pact. Yeah, we played a red-black Demonic Pact list day 1 of this format. Seems pretty cool. Town ain't big enough. Exceptional against the card Demonic Pact. Fair to say. Spend 4 mana, I spend 2. Greed's Gambit, yeah, they could be on that one as well. When I was building that deck, I couldn't figure out a way to fit both Demonic Pact and Greed's Gambit. Because I felt like you really wanted to play the card that lets you sacrifice, that lets you bargain to tutor. I can't remember its name. But I felt like the bargain to tutor card was quite appealing. Hey, Aspie. Beseech the Mirror, thank you. That is the one. Yeah, I think that card's pretty good, so. Alright. So Up the Beanstalk, Stormchasers, Sleight of Hand? I definitely want a Beanstalk first in that case, and I guess I will tap this to save life because it's so unlikely that I actually need to cast a green spell. I have blue spells that I am quite happy casting this time. The mill effects are like basically rituals next turn anyway, so fine enough to wait on them. Mill 4 or mill 2? I kind of want to take Seed of Hope, weirdly. I feel like we have so many resources going on. I just want the more efficient card. Seafood deck. That's a good name for it. Best Simic deck in Standard. Hey, Solan. What other Simic decks are going around right now? Crab. Alright. Can we hit 2 spells? Completely OP is a very generous description. I gotta say. I kind of don't care about drawing a card off this Up the Beanstalk. Although I can analyze to make this cost 1 less. That seems necessary? Like I'd rather save it? Well, it also saves me a life. No, kind of. Whatever, I'm just gonna draw cards. Yeah. Fine. Interesting. I guess I miss out on 2 damage. I want to just cast another Terror. Get down my Crab. Crab could tap some blockers. It's pretty threatening. Yeah, I should probably have gotten the 2 damage. Last. Oh, Chris! Thank you for 85 months of support. Almost a whole year. Appreciate you. Good to see you. I hope I manifest an Attraction and have the way to flip it deck. Yeah, that is definitely not the best deck, Simic deck in Standard. I think it's fair to say. Oh yeah, my partner anniversary. It is. It is. I always forget it's this time of year. Sweet. So good to see you, man. Thank you, thank you. Otero, thank you for that Prime sub. Hell yeah. Very much appreciate people sending their Prime subs my way. Appreciate the support. You're enjoying my content. Oh my god, it's so wild that today's my partner anniversary because I was just approved as partner on YouTube as well today. So my partner anniversaries line up on the two platforms, which feels quite improbable to have accidentally happened. Designated partner day, apparently. Tolarian of the Veil, Skew, several creature lands. Yeah, there is a good black-green deck. I guess the problem is the black removal's so good that there's not really much reason to need red removal. So it's more a case of like, are there other red cards that are exciting? You know, I could just rebuy my stupid talent big enough. Get this packed off the table. Or I could draw 20 cards. You know, also sounds pretty fun. Have I been liking this multi-version? I am currently playing my first game with it. So, it's felt pretty good. I mean, I've always been a fan of this deck. I always felt like this deck was a little bit underrated. So it's kind of nice to see it having a little bit of a resurgence. town ain't big enough. We just want to bounce this Demonic Pact. Or just say go. Feels like pretty hard to ever lose if we just say go. Discard cards at random. Why not? Discard a card at random. One of the 20 drawn was a Tatabi. Yeah, we got there. We did the impossible. What if they get to gain 4 life this way? Alright then. Sure. Yeah, how much self-mills shifted over to green with time? Yeah, it really has become like the green thing now. And like a little bit of black, a little bit of blue, but... Happy father anniversary. Thank you, Nicole. Okay, so we're against Demonic Pact. That probably means we want Pawpatch, Tear Asunders. Min, welcome to the stream. I have clearly never seen you here before. Welcome, welcome. Okay, Monstrous Emergence seem particularly necessary. And then my inclination is to like trim on unsummons. They can save my own creatures. Maybe trim a Sleight of Hand. They aren't going to have too much like intense graveyard hate, so I don't really want to trim any of them. I think Beanstalk is actively amazing. That card's certainly staying in. Or maybe I'm allowed to trim Seed of Hope against decks that aren't like super aggressive. And that have a lot of discard spells, so risking going -1 card's a little risky. Let's try this. Although digging for Beanstalk is so good. You've yet to play the black sideboard splash? I'm curious to see how it does against red. Oh, cut Crash Grab because 2 mana is a lot. Yeah, that's a good idea. I actually quite like that. I assume I'm not allowed to keep this. It gets free looks at its second land. If we get duressed on one, this hand just kind of folds. We have the Beanstalk, which is really nice. Like, this is pretty insane. Beanstalk 2 Tatabi. There are also just like very light land count deck, but we don't have a green source, which means we can't. Our analyzers and bushwhacks aren't live. I think if this was a Botanical Sanctum, yeah, I don't think it's keepable. I agree. I think if it was Botanical Sanctum, I would keep it. But it was not. So here we are. I guess one of these. Tear Asunder is just so good against that deck. I don't have any targets of my own for town yet. Hey. I guess I could also see getting rid of Seed of Hope because of the risk of going -1 on a mulligan. It was kind of weird to get rid of Seed of Hope but keep the crab though. Is that good? Dig me to land and Beanstalk, but so does milling it. I would like to be able to hold 2 mana open. Pre-drag. Ace of the Stashed Skeleton. Strange card. Hey! Meddling the Sleight of Hand worked out perfectly. Classic. Classic Dreams of Steel and Oil. Being a very playable card. I really want to make sure I can counter a thing. But I also don't know that I'm allowed to miss a land. Damn it. They have a disenchant. Seed informs a slight decision, but if I slight into an untapped land, I want to pass with 2 mana open. And if they don't cast a thing I want to counter, I can then cast Seed. So, is my reasoning. I'm pretty sure I just like slating first. Oh my god, this is so awkward. I could just town this and this, but then I'm so at risk of discarding. Yes, I'm just gonna Tear Asunder. You see. Where's that Pawpatch for me? Put on the bottom. What fool would put that Pawpatch on the bottom, apparently? But towning it is so rough. Towning it is only like really good if we find exactly land. This game was not meant to be, by the looks of things. Could find lands, but I don't think it's acceptable to spend a turn casting that. And we can draw 2 off our 5/5s instead. Uh-oh. Well, I see. I guess I'm unsummoning that and then casting a 5/5. And drawing a land. Oh my god, I want to. I'm losing my mind, y'all. What is happening? The crazy thing is, even that turn, I think the game was still very winnable if we hit our third land. I think now we're probably like pretty out of reach. Sort of draw a land. True. Accurate. Well, out the 4 to face. Terrifying. Makes sense with that shouldered. Alright. Let's just go to the next game. Game 3. Game 3 will make everything great. Shouldered. I mean, Tear Asunder kind of answers shouldered. I don't think I'm particularly scared of shouldered. I think that was just a slightly unfortunate circumstance. Hey, Cal. Entire hardware store is watching my game. Crazy. Hello TSS's hardware store. Hey, Solar Fair. Alright, game 3. Gonna go great. I believe. Oh, I didn't cut any cash grabs. Look. Fine. I should have maybe cut a cash grab or two, but is fine. Eddymurk Crab. I feel like I probably want that. Cash grab's probably going to enable it fairly quickly. Jimmy wants to get rid of it just to look for something we can Tabi with, but damn, them taking the cash grab makes it so astronomically worse. Just like incomprehensibly worse in every way. Oh. Discard a town ain't big enough. Draw. Happy partner anniversary. Thank you. It's actually really funny. I was mentioning this earlier on the stream. My partner anniversary for Twitch is somehow the exact same day, like 6 years removed of my partner anniversary on YouTube, because I was just approved the partnership program over there today. It's really kind of silly. Spectacularly improbable. Game does not feel the most winnable. But I would certainly be happy proven wrong. I mean, we could always just roar a Beanstalk turn. They're just saying, I kind of don't want to cast this. I know they get Fountain Ball or whatever. I don't want to just like let them use their mana efficiently. We have Beanstalk in our deck, and we are very rewarded. Because why wouldn't we be? God, that's the literal best draw in our deck by such like an obscene astronomical distance. Nothing else is even faintly close. R-drop DT, indeed, indeed. You love to see it. Gosh, this week's gonna be intense, y'all. I'm doing 6 hours of coaching, which is like the most coaching I've ever done in a week. But I say 3 weeks into doing coaching. I've got my streams. I've got like 2 house viewings. And I have BML champs this weekend that I need to figure out what on earth I am playing in. Just like, could not possibly be a busier week. Champs, champs, champs. I am very excited for it. It's gonna be a good one. Don't know what deck I'm playing. I'm now at the point where I think I'm like 100% prepped on limited and feel very confident in the limited format. I have no idea what to play in standard. Which feels kind of funny considering, you know, I play so much standard on stream. But hey. Got. I don't know that we did. Like, they would have just taken the crab from our hand. I think it worked out fine. I want to cast cat. 120. Yeah, I'm obviously playing this deck at VML champs. Yeah, 123. I agree. Like, what other deck in the format is there to play but this? I don't really want to cast Bounce this Beanstalk. I want to keep my mana open and not have this in hand where it's pressable. Kaiba, hey, how did your RCQ go, Kaiba? What did you end up playing? It was this past weekend, right? Simic or Teema. Gotta love blue-green X. Alright, just discard this Hedge Maze. Land drops are nice, but shrug. Tear Asunder. Kind of wondering how I feel about just bounce Liliana on this. Awesome to respend mana on her. Get my divination going. Love to divinate. Too much work. That makes. Oh, I'm glad Benson queued. That is fantastic. Always very, very happy to hear about Benton having success. It kind of doesn't feel like this. For my card. Ding, ding, ding. Beautiful draw. I cast my Stormchasers. I really don't want to get duressed. So that sounds pretty good. Play out tap land. Oh, awesome. Have a great time, Kaiba. Sounds great. I see a treasure token. We might see a double spell turn. But we are very prepped for Demonic Pact, and I know that Liliana is like desperately. Play a game after this? Yeah, why not? Ace of the Stash. Sure. Acceptable. Yeah. He is probably getting Tear Asunder. So I want to just do it now, save myself the life. Bye, Nicole. I could also just draw a card, get back to Tabi, bounce Shieldred, and force my opponent to recast her. I take 4 life to do that. But it uses my mana like astronomically better. A+, 10 out of 10 draw. Couldn't draw it up better if you tried. What's that? My 5/5 draws a card. Incredible. Tear Asunder. Such a nice one. Liliana. I mean, she can make me sack a 1/1. That doesn't matter. I guess that kind of stops me having lethal. I guess trying to present lethal might be pretty reasonable. Alright, I talked myself into it. You know what? Winning the game's kind of good, I suppose. I'll let them attack. I don't think the life matters. Kind of denies the marginal amount of info. Oh, nice blocker you have there, friend. Something happened to it. It got pinched. Easy. Too easy. Admittedly, it would have been very hard if we hadn't drawn beans, but hey, beans. Sometimes you draw the beans. Eddie strikes again. Oh, I guess. Freddie Mercury, wow. I hadn't actually heard that one. That's kind of great. Oh, yeah. Oh, I guess I'll put the best card in the deck on the top. Sounds acceptable. Akiashi. You. I feel like I should probably unsummon Starter before it does anyone more work on my life total. Nice grab. Unsummon Cash Grab. Seems good. I guess there's no reason not to just... I'm sure there's some reason. I'm gonna wait. It's fine. Oh, arguably I should have main phased the Cash Grab in case I find Botanical Sanctum. Although in exchange I give my opponent info, so obviously it's not free. Beans. My voice is cutting out. Someone was complaining about that last stream. I'm gonna... Give me a sec. Yeah, I'm just messing with the noise gate. Let me know if it's a problem again at any point. The noise gate has been tinkered with, but as to whether it has been tinkered with enough remains to be seen. Interesting. It's a 5/5. We need 2. Wait, we're gonna have 3 in the yard. This is gonna be 4. I might have to take the Yavimaya Coast, honestly. I don't know. Oh, no, this gets an untapped land. What am I talking about? Alright. So technically this reshuffles a card in like a slightly annoying fashion. But I think if I found another Sleight, I'd want to cast that instead of the Analyze, so. Very nice. Let's go. Spider-Man matchup. Is my mic having any more issues? Or has messing with the noise gate fixed it? It seems like it should be a lot better now, looking at the audio input on Twitch. Seems to be good so far. Nice. Stormchasers. Okay, okay. Maybe he just wants the town ain't big enough to Sotter. I should probably just get my crab going though. Playing Seeds of Hope instead of Opt is the extra mill worth the possibility of missing? It's not. It's kind of like a bunch of different things. Like you do mill more, so it kind of speeds you up more. And the 2 life, yeah, the 2 life helps against red. I agree, Gwen. That's like honestly a pretty appealing element. Yeah, it's a dark ritual if it hits 2 instants. Yeah, exactly. That's kind of how I see it as well. Like, there are going to be times where you hit 2 instants or sorceries and you really needed to hit a spell because you're on, like, you know, a mulligan and your opponent's discarded you a couple times or whatever. That is certainly the case, but I think for the most part, you are quite happy to have that extra mill. This Unable to Scream seems quite awkward against town ain't big enough. I gotta say. Yeah, consider would be better. Okay, I agree with that. Cast 2 5/5s, draw 4 cards. Seems good. As these Stormchasers get to start getting back spells. It seems a bit slow right now. Hey, Sales. Thank you, thank you. Appreciate it. It's really crazy. It's 6 or 7 years. Dead Beanstalk. So back. Sales of the Prime sub. Thank you for coming back for 5 whole months. Thank you, Sales. Very much appreciate the continued support. Oh, sorry by the way that streams have been a little bit less like frequent or regular recently. Life has been a little bit crazy. I am hoping though that once VML Champs is over this weekend, I'm gonna have a lot more time on my hand to stream. Testing for that has definitely been taking up some amount of my attention. Such full hand indeed. Sometimes that happens, it's true. It has been known. I allowed a third Beanstalk. There are 29 cards in my deck. It's really hard to imagine that I would actually deck before killing my opponent. I guess I just don't cast any of the self-mill stuff once I've got taken this. I don't know. Could be worse. Words spoken before disaster, exactly. I kind of want to Sleight instead of Beanstalk here, because if I find a Tolarian Terror, that is pretty phenomenal. Also, hi Alicia. Hey, the card we were talking about. What do you know? I'm so excited for it to turn out that Kaiba has Jace. Just like lose my mind. There are not any Jaces in the 75. Should there be? That card might be pretty nice. I'm casting a Terror. I guess Jace is probably like sometimes sick in the mirror. Case in point, this game. Our new Kaito. I didn't even consider new Kaito, huh? Kind of an interesting one. I feel like historically, yes, so this kills otters. This also kills otters there. Should probably have kept the Analyze for Tolarian Terror. Yeah, you probably want it when enemies have rest in pieces. Yeah. I was gonna say, I feel like historically this deck's pretty good at fighting for creature removal, which is what Planeswalkers are good against, but Planeswalkers are pretty nice against rest in peace. So maybe that's something I should just be considering. The Kaito Mill's kind of nice. You get that going, the looting, when you're under rest in peace as well. I could kind of dig it. Alright, the cards are getting online, but I feel like they're probably going to be a bit slow. We got crabs on the way. Yeah, I think the thinking on no creature land is because of the Gloomlake Verge. And the fact that you need a lot of your lands to have types for Gloomlake. So it'd have to be like cutting a Yavimaya Coast to have a creature land, which might still be worth it. But it's not like as much of a free roll as in straight blue-green. Because you need types for Gloomlake. I assume we want Ghost Vacuum, and it's going to be very bad in like half our games. So, you know. Oh, you know what we should have in this deck? We should have the free that grows when it eats a card. Blue Kestrel with the 52 months. Thank you for the primary sub. Hell yeah. Love 2 cards. Urborg Scavenger. I don't actually know the text on that one. Someone could call it. Oh, no, not Scavenging. There's a free, the Curator. Curator. Because it goes off colorless mana. So it can actually eat a lot more stuff than the Scavenging is and become a 7/7. Alright, let's read this Urborg Scavengers. When it enters or attacks, exile target card. I think I like Keen-Eyed Curator the most out of those options. I don't know if it's good or not. It could be nice to have a copy to analyze for, though. What on earth am I doing? I got very distracted from sideboarding. I'm wondering if I need to just be able to kill beans. Like, obviously you go minus cards, but beans is just the best card by so much. Like, sometimes you'll kill a crab. I might even bring in this as well. Sometimes you'll kill a talent in response to opponent leveling it up. Which is also fine. Oh, these also kill Ghost Vacuum too. Well, 2 of them do. Maybe I meant to cut more cash grabs. I feel like Unsummon's not great here, although it does answer otters, which can matter. Orcos, thank you. If it was Rona's Vortex, would I keep them in? Good question. I'm gonna be honest, I do actually need to reread the text on that one. God, Crab is so good, but I feel like I just need to aggressively dig for beans. But maybe keeping this is fine. I do need a crab at some point. I just want to find beans though. Vortex feels worse than Unsummon in the mirror. It does put it on the bottom of the library, so they don't get to redraw it and get bean triggers. I think Vortex probably seems slightly better than Unsummon to me, but I might be wrong, and I think it's like pretty marginal in the mirror. I don't think either are like cards I'm excited to have many copies of. Please don't play beans. Okay, good. Comes the cash grab. Finds a beans. Yep. I'm no longer allowed to complain. No complaining allowed. It might be a little bit too little too late, but I guess I'm casting this. Get rid of the town. Currently 5 in yard. Oh, didn't take the beans. That's interesting. Oh. That's 5/5. This Ghost Vacuum is exactly how I said it would be. Good on exactly turn 1. Amazing on turn 1 and bad on every other turn. Oh boy. That was 2 vacuums. Probably worse than taking a book. Get out on ladder as extra copies of town. Long River's Pool. I do kind of like Get Out. Get Out was like very briefly being played as a 1/1 in Otters at one point. A 2-mana vehicle. Unlicensed Task isn't in standard. What is the other one? Is there another one? One, 2, 3, 4, 6. I'm dying very quickly. Let's see if we can skillfully mill a spell here. We cannot. It feels so dead. Good lord. Yeah, it was a fake card, right? That makes sense. Yeah, I really want to add the Curator to my sideboard. I don't know if it would actually be good, but it seems like kind of an appealing analyze target. Maybe something that actually nukes the yard in some form. It's just so awkward that Ghost Vacuum's like good on exactly turn 1. Tranquil Throwback? Yeah. I could see that. I don't know if this deck has enough green for that, but like, definitely worth considering. Getting rid of the yard and blowing up a beanstalk at the same time is pretty nice. Okay. Yeah, throwback seems easy to not have enough green for. I mean, it's kind of similar, I feel like. I guess I just cast this. You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Doing it now. Oh, hitting the Tatabi kind of makes Analyze worse, I guess. I just wait. Very Mastermind for the mirror. I have heard Fairy Mastermind is quite annoying for this deck to play against. My suspicion is Ghost Vacuum is a card you only really want if you expect Oculus to be somewhat popular. Not like most of the other graveyard decks you can deal with other ways. Say its name plus 9/9. I would need to look at Say Its Name again. I suspect that it's worse than Cash Grab, just because it's one less card. So obviously, like, it gives you a lot more access to Beanstalk in against like the black decks and the slow matchups. Yeah, I'm a little skeptical of cards that are only good in the mirror. I agree, Long is. Though I do expect this deck to pick up in popularity, at least for like the next week. Unclear how much staying power it's going to have, but definitely going to pick up in popularity a bit. Also a sorcery, true. It plays so much worse with Negate, yeah. Great point. Oh, Sentinel of Lost Law. There was a point in time where I thought that card was really underplayed. I don't remember when it was. I imagine it was like before rotation happened. I think it was back in the Teamer Lands era. There was like a solid month where I felt like that card should have been seeing more play in the green black deck. It saw like a tiny bit of play sometimes, but not everyone played it. And thought that card seemed great. You like hit their virtuous strength and their graveyard at the same time. Sometimes like redrew a Dread Knight. Not often what you want to do, but strange things happen. Yeah, when Eldraine first came out, it saw like a tiny bit of play and then basically immediately disappeared, I feel like. Well then. I guess I can start on that. Arena determined to tap my green mana, of course. Not that it really matters. Lithomantic Barrage. I mean, honestly, that card could be pretty fine. There's what's it called? There's the Oculus deck, which doesn't see a great deal of play, but Barrage is pretty phenomenal against that deck. I feel like I am probably going to die. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so I just stop. Alan. Y'all ever realize how much Ward 2 is? Yellow what? Thank you for the 500 viewer raid. That's incredible. Welcome everyone to the stream. Playing the sick blue-green Tolarian Terror deck that's been picking up steam. 6 mana mode on vacuum. Maybe. It doesn't feel terribly good at blocking 5/5s, which is mostly what I'm in the market for right now, but I'm not playing Sultai Roots. Read into that as you will. Alright, game 3. Welcome everyone. My name is Autumn or Rain or Rainy, any of the above. I play a lot of Magic. I should not board out Cash Grab in the mirror. What am I doing? See you, Gab. Thank you for the raid. I am a Pro Tour champion and 3-time Pro Tour top 4 competitor, and I stream Standard on Arena pretty much exclusively. 4 days a week. So if you like watching Standard, feel free to give a follow. Alright, this hand has to be good. It's got the Beanstalk on 2, it's got some Yard Fill, no Ghost Vacuum or Cash Grab, which both seem very good in the mirror, but off to a solid start at least. That saves me the mana of casting it. Cast the Beanstalk. Misclick got you out APM'd. Alas. I just want to like main phase the Cash Grab and get more info for my Hedge Maze. Not like representing interaction really achieves that much here. Ghost Vacuum. Alright, I'm going to take the Ghost Vacuum and it's going to be unplayable garbage. And I'm very excited for it. I love Town Ain't Big Enough. I think I kind of just want this 1 mana discount there. If there was an Otter in play, I might be more inclined to keep it. Oh, there is a Beanstalk. We have our own Beanstalk. Also, Kaiba missed a land drop, which seems astronomically good for me. Ding, ding, ding. Got working on this graveyard. Guess I don't have to activate it quite yet, but we are mirroring as much as possible. Indeed. Alright, now I am obligated to do this, right? Stop, like, land terror from happening post-grab as easily. 1, 2, 3, 4 yard. Might as well just hit another one whilst we're at it. We can go find a... Oh, I really want to kill this Beanstalk, and I really want to, like, play a Terror. I guess I can just do both of those. Bonk. Do you find a land drop? Do you find a 5/5? No asking for money in chat, please. There's a Tolarian Terror, that's fine. You just get to swing. Terra meet Terra. Get in there, my friend. Bonk. Okay. I'm gonna find a land and then just double grab. Well, I could also just go find a Tolarian Terror and cast one of those first. Kind of nice having one of these in play that doesn't, like, just get tapped to a crab as easily. And we have plenty in the yard to get rid of. Play Oculus. Huh. Oh, we don't have the bean anymore. What am I doing? Yeah, whatever. Just get attacking. Still seems good. I want to save this Bushwhack or find a land. Finding a land lets me start balancing faster. It means I can, like, oh my god, did I not attack? It means I can return to Tabi and stuff real soon. Yeah, Kaiba's feeling the mana disadvantage, the Ghost Vacuum disadvantage. The Ghost Vacuum was very mid, but kind of did its job. Bye, Sophia. Turbo Bell.